I'm not going to ask you what funding round you got in for when it does come to Klarna, but we've obviously seen its valuation come off considerably, especially if you do look at the last funding round as well. Is the buy now, pay later industry, was it a fad, or does it have legs in terms of it can build back the value that was lost over the course of, say, the last 6 to 12 months?
I think that BNPL is a space that we do believe has long-term potential as kind of a newer form of banking for this generation. So for kind of the TikTok generation. And the entry point was that ease of access, the ease of consumer credit that you could get through the installment payments. But the real secret sauce of companies like Klarna is that what happens after that. Again, from our China experience, we know that you onboard people through that higher frequency, lower margin product, but then ultimately migrate them to higher margin, lower frequency products, just like someone like Meituan does. I think that someone like Klarna has the potential to really build that whole-scale banking platform for this generation, and that includes all the other kind of wealth management, deposit management, and ultimately their types of commercial products and commercial services that they would need as they start their own businesses. And so I think it will take time. There was certainly a bubble around those valuations. They were very, very rich at the time. And now I think this reset will help them drive towards profitability and providing those higher margin services with intended.
Tencent is doing quite nicely in trade today. It's up 2.5%, Ben, despite the first revenue drop since listing. We're speaking with a guest later on in this hour who nonetheless still has a buy rating on the stock. What's your call on Tencent?
Sure. Long-term, very, very bullish on the business. I mean, the easiest way for a Western investor to think about Tencent is it is a Berkshire Hathaway plus Facebook or plus Meta, right? So it's a business that has incredible insight investing into companies within its ecosystem and then brings those into the ecosystem and drives huge outcomes for them. They are amongst, if not the best investors in China tech, companies like NIO, JD, Meituan, et cetera. And they hold not only, they hold very material stakes. Obviously, everyone, the silver lining of these types of notices, like we saw with the Reuters story of them potentially selling part of their Meituan stake, is that people start to recognize kind of the sum of the parts here and realize that they're sitting on a $24 billion stake in Meituan and similarly sized stakes in companies like Pinduoduo and others. And so incredible investors, very innovative, have built the dominant payment, messaging, shopping kind of integrated lifestyle platform in China and WeChat, which is light years beyond what Meta have in terms of its monetization capabilities with WhatsApp. And so still very bullish on what they can do with those platforms. And of course, the high margin revenue that they're getting out of gaming.